Hello and welcome to another episode of UpGrade with Maria Kay, the podcast where your success, freedom and happiness get a weekly boost. And if you're just joining us for the first time ever, a huge welcome and congratulations for taking this time out of your busy schedule. And also if you're returning to us, then again, a huge big well done for dedicating your time for the next 30 or so minutes to raise the standard of your life. I'm Maria Kay, and I am passionate about helping people all around the world, including you, to convert their dreams into reality, because I believe so very strongly that our dreams and our desires are merely indications for what is absolutely possible. So what do you dream of? What do you desire? What areas of your life do you identify as having room for more? I am going to take you week on week on week on a journey of upgrade. And the fact that you are here, tuning in, indicates to me that you are so ready for more in your life. So during these podcasts, I take topics that are relevant and necessary and that build the backbone of any life upgrade. We talk about spirituality, subjects of spiritual development, personal development, mindset. I share things that I have learned through life experience and also through the textbooks. I share ideas and experiences and conclusions that have come about from years of experience of working with clients on a level of one-to-one and also in group settings. I am a coach, I am a mentor, I'm a facilitator, but above all, I am a seer of the truth. And I see your truth as leading you towards a life that not only you desire, but you absolutely 100% deserve. So if you'd like to get in touch with me, please do go over to the Facebook group, UpGrade with Maria Kay, where you can share what you need, any ideas, any gaps that you may have going on right now in your upgrade journey. Reach out. It's one of my most favorite things to hear from you. So please take a few minutes to go over there and become part of our ever-growing, very, very special and sacred Upgrade with Maria Kay community. Today's juicy topic is inner knowing. How do we get to the point of a clear inner knowing? Now, I feel in order to be able to explain to you what inner knowing is, I must first take you through an explanation of what isn't inner knowing. And we're going to start with beliefs. Beliefs are made up of thoughts that we repeatedly think. So a belief is simply a thought that I keep thinking over and over again. And since our thoughts reside and originate in our mind, our beliefs are highly connected to our mindset. Our beliefs originate in our mind, but if we look into our external world, they are relevant and prevalent and clear as day, playing out in our everyday life. If you want to know what's on someone's mind, then simply look into their outer world. What's playing out in their life? What experiences are they having or not having? So the building blocks to our beliefs are our thoughts. Our beliefs are, you could say, made up of our experiences from childhood onwards, the things that people said to us, growing up, the opinions and beliefs of other people that we've lived around and spent time with throughout our life, our parents, our teachers, the media, our friends, our peers, our colleagues. They are also formulated based on our experiences. So any specific experience. So for example, growing up, if somebody told you that you had chubby legs, right? Then chances are that belief will have embedded itself right deep into your mind, and you would have begun to operate moving forward from inside the parameters of that belief. Is that belief the truth? Highly likely not. Do you believe it to be the truth? Quite possibly yes. Now, this is just a brief overview here without wanting to go in too deep or make it too complicated or scientific. But on the whole, our beliefs tend to be based on either somebody else's truth or a false truth that we have artificially manufactured within our mind. Do they always serve us in our upgrade journey? No. The good news is, though, they are malleable. We can change our beliefs to fit in with our desires. So, for example, if you desire to wake up every day with unlimited energy and zest for life, yet right now you believe with the schedule that you've got going on, it's absolutely impossible to rest enough to feel that way in the mornings, then you would go in, switch that belief around using, there are uncountable methods and tips and tools and exercises and activities that you can use to change your beliefs. All of those coming in a future podcast episode. Just for now, know that your beliefs are changeable. So in that instance, what you would do is pick any of those exercises that we know to be true. If you're not aware of them yet, tune in very soon and I will be taking you through all of those. And using one of those methods to switch your belief around, and it would go something like this. I believe that I have access to infinite, unlimited energy. And every day I wake up raring to go and I have all the energy I need to carry out my daily tasks with plenty left to spare. So the cool thing is, yes, our beliefs are, let's say, man-made, but they are changeable. We could say that our beliefs are the equivalent to genetically modified food, right? We'd rather not eat it, but sometimes it can be quite tasty, right? So it has its place now and again. So all of that being said, moving back to today's topic specifically, which is inner knowing. Inner knowing. Now just be with that title for a second, inner knowing. And close your eyes as I say it, inner knowing. Inner knowing. Now, let me just separate the words inner. As soon as you focus on a word that starts inner, that says inner, it takes you immediately inside, especially if your eyes are closed, inner. And then the word knowing. We're not talking about intelligence. We're not talking about anything to do with your mind right now. Inner knowing resides deep inside you, the part of you that is the most intelligent part of you. Now, there is a huge amount of really accurate evidence and lots of studies that are being done and have been done around heart intelligence. And some of it is going as far as to say that our heart is substantially more intelligent than our mind, or has the capacity to be. How does that sit with you? So we've already talked about beliefs. I believe ... And now we're moving into I know, ... Like the ... fill in the gap, fill in what you know, fill in what you believe. So as already mentioned, our inner knowing resides inside of us, and specifically inside our heart. You may have heard this kind of ongoing debate, heart versus mind, right? And a lot of people say, don't listen to your heart, your mind knows best. But a lot of people also say, follow your heart. It has your best interest at heart. Now, some of my most pivotal moments in my life have been when I've allowed my heart to fully lead the way. Now, we're talking about scenarios, turning points, crossroads, opportunities, invitations that have made no logical sense whatsoever. Hear this, no logical sense whatsoever. If you want to hear some specific stories and you haven't already listened to our podcast series from day one, you'll find a lot of my personal stories in those recordings. So go back, take some time and get yourself acquainted with my story and my journey. There's a lot of insight and a lot of power in the journey that I've been traveling from, let's say, a very long time ago. And I know that if I hadn't followed my heart guidance and I had succumbed to the fears and limiting beliefs that were stemming from my mind, I am certain I wouldn't be where I am today. And that would be really, really sad because I adore where I am today. I get to help people all over the world from wherever I am in the world. I spend my winters in India and I spend my summers in various parts of Europe, my home island, Cyprus being one of them, my place of birth, which I absolutely adore, apart from the weather, the UK as well. So wherever I am, living my happy, free and successful life, I get to help people like you. So if I hadn't been courageous enough to take notice of what my heart was telling me in all of those pivotal moments, you probably wouldn't be listening to me today. So belief versus knowing. That's a really strong, interesting and powerful debate. And how can we know the difference? Well, already we've talked about how beliefs originate in the mind. We're not knocking them. Let me be really clear. They have their place. They can be supportive. And we do have the power and the ability to transform them. Right? So this is a really important point to take on board. But again, they are artificial. We could say. They are the equivalent to genetically modified food. Our knowing is pure and organic. It's unwavering. It's unchangeable. It is the truth. It is your truth. Your knowing loves you unconditionally and only ever wants to bring you forward towards your soul purpose, which may change from time to time, but your knowing knows exactly how to transition you from point to point to point to ensure that you are on a constant evolutionary, forward moving, upgrading journey. And that is the be all and end all. That is what you are here for. That is what we want and desire as human beings. So could you be willing to begin to trust your inner knowing? Could you be willing to trust your heart? Even if it seems like the most ridiculous piece of information or message or pull or guidance that it might be providing you with. Just over 12 months ago, I was given the message from my inner knowing and my heart to relocate to India. Now, it seemed like the most crazy idea ever, completely inconvenient, illogical, frivolous, and at times impossible. But my inner knowing was unwavering. When I allowed myself the time and the space and the stillness to be in good communication with my inner knowing, the craziness, my ego fears, my limiting beliefs, all of the cons and arguments against would just slip away and dissolve, allowing my inner knowing to become even stronger. Your inner knowing will stand strong with both feet firmly on the ground, regardless of what obstacles and problems and what perceived reality is unfolding right in front of you. Your inner knowing will encourage you to not give up and keep going, regardless of how hard or impossible it may seem. Your inner knowing will stand at the very peak of the mountain, beckoning you up and telling you to keep going. It may feel hard and impossible now, but look where I am. I'm already there for you. We've already completed it on some level. Keep going. Have faith. Trust the process. That's what your inner knowing does for you. Now, if you've never experienced that for yourself, or perhaps you're not sure if you've experienced it, all of what I'm describing to you and telling you may seem very far out. We tend to be very fixated on our current reality. And our current reality may not be what we want. It may not be where we'd like to settle for the rest of our lives. It may be giving you evidence to indicate that what you are seeking to create, attract, manifest, bring forth into your life is impossible. Your current reality may not please you, and your belief system has an absolute field day watching, tuning into, spending time focusing on your current reality. And what that does is it strengthens and perpetuates a belief system that is based on falseness. It's based on lies. It's based on untruths. So can you see how the little description I gave you earlier on about how beliefs are fabricated, they are man-made, because everything is possible, especially if you've thought it, visioned it, desired it, felt it, or here's the biggie, known it. If you know it, it's absolutely possible. It is absolutely possible for you to be living it sometime in the future. Now, this is where having some kind of daily practice where you set aside some time to sit or lay in stillness, in silence, inviting all your thoughts to dissolve for a period of time. You may want to call it meditation. You can call it whatever you like. I know that For some, meditation or just the idea of meditation can become really uncomfortable, and we really do not want to instigate any discomfort. We want to embrace the tools that we know to be powerful and that we know have the capacity to uplift and accelerate our life upgrade, or the upgrade of any specific area of our life that we are currently displeased with. So having that time on a daily basis to be still and connect internally, connect with your inner knowing. Allow any of the mind clutter, the limiting beliefs, the mind chatter, your fears, your guilt, your rage, your anger, anything that isn't part of your true nature to dissolve or just step aside for those few moments. We're not here to point at anything and make it wrong. What we're asking for is a slight break from the heaviness and the density of our humanistic ways. So allowing yourself that time each day, it could be 60 seconds, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. I'm interested in inviting you to have some stillness in your day. I'm not worried about how long, because I trust that you will be guided and you will drop into that space according to your current needs. And connecting to our knowing isn't limited to sitting in stillness or meditation. We can have access to it by going about our daily lives. But what can happen is our beliefs and our fears and our humanistic ego-led tendencies have a greater capacity to trump that inner knowing. So when we take that time to be in stillness, we allow that inner knowing to turn up the volume and become really clear, apparent, and strong. Now, that's not to say that what your knowing might begin to tell you is going to please you. Listen to that carefully. Your deep, intelligent, sacred inner knowing and the information that it's feeding you may not please you. It may feel downright inconvenient. It's likely to feel scary. It's likely to rock your boat. And this is where we need a huge dose of courage. And when you sit yourself in stillness or meditation, one of the bonuses that you receive instantly by doing so is heightened courage. I have a whole individual podcast on how to develop and strengthen your courage muscle. Because, dear friends, our dreams are indicators of where we need to go and how our life can be possible. And our heart leads us forward in that direction. But without courage, our dreams tend to remain simply good ideas or stuck in our heart, almost like being in a jail. Belief versus knowing. What can sometimes happen is that we are working, focusing on creating, manifesting, bringing something forth, changing something, transforming, upgrading. Yet, because we haven't taken the time to fully connect with our inner knowing, we may be going for the complete wrong thing. We may be following the wrong path. And that means that you'll never get there. And if you do, it will not ever please you or fulfill you. For example, I desire this because I believe it's what I should desire. Has that ever happened to you? Perhaps you are there right now. I desire the dream house because I believe, based on what I've grown up experiencing and seeing and being told, that that is what I should desire. False belief, false action, false inspiration. As soon as you drop inside, connect with your heart, allow your knowing, your inner knowing to lead the way, you will feel joy and ecstasy and fulfillment and freedom and happiness, and success will be yours based on your authentic inner knowing. When your dream is authentic, when your dream is fueled by your authentic inner truth, then your journey may not be easy, right? It may not be easy in the common sense of the word, but it will fill you with joy. It will inspire you, excite you, pull you forth, expand you, grow you, uplift you, raise your consciousness. It may put you through your paces to the point of surrender, but it is where you need to travel in order to keep moving forward on purpose. Back to that little example I gave you a little over a year ago, our relocation to India, it destroyed me. It exhausted me. It made me question everything. And I almost gave up. But my inner knowing kept telling me, you need to go, because it will touch not only your life, but the lives of the people who look to you for inspiration, encouragement, guidance, and upliftment. And that is exactly what has happened. The amount of people who have, including non-clients, clients and non-clients, people in our community who are on the same path or similar path, upgrading their life, or areas of their life that they really know don't cut it anymore, have contacted me and commented and shared how inspired they've been and how they've made decisions based on my journey and my courage to step out and step up. I've had people pulling their children out of school and going on long extended trips. I've had people quitting their corporate jobs and opening up their own businesses. Uncountable stories, uncountable. So belief versus knowing. Utilize your knowing as a springboard to propel you forward. Hold on to that knowing as if you are holding on to the cliff, the edge of a cliff, right? Hold on to it with such tenacity and such belief that it is there because it has your best interest at heart. Your inner knowing has your back, basically. It has your back. So before we finish, I want to take you through a quick exercise. Go grab a piece of paper and a pen, and on the top, write my vision, and then spend some time filling that space in, a paragraph or two, describing very vividly what your vision is. And underneath, I want you to write, I believe. I believe. So fill in your beliefs around your vision. And then underneath that, write, I know. Write exactly what you know to be true. Now, I invite you to go into meditation before you do this. Spend some time in meditation. And your answers will be crystal clear and they will be absolutely the truth. Do me a favor, go over to the Facebook group, Upgrade with Maria Kay, and let me know how that exercise has gone for you. Share with us your results. I believe in you. I know that you are here to raise your life up to an outstanding